Radio Zero.
It's Radio Zero with Rick and Rose, Friday, October 7th, 2022.
Good job.
Yeah.
You know the day, the
I'm
month,
looking at
and
my
the year.
computer.
That was actually one of the test questions on the brain test I took with my doctor a year ago.
Yeah.
What's the date? What's the year?
Did you know?
Yes, I knew everything.
So you took a brain test and your doctor said, it's all right.
Yeah, you're fine.
What
You
do you
passed with
expect?
flying
Yeah.
colors. You can subscribe to the podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts. That's what I'm using lately. Not a sponsor.
Google Podcasts?
Yeah. You can go to radiozero.us, hit the RSS feed. We're live streaming on Facebook.
What year is it, Rick?
2022. We're live streaming on Facebook on the Radio Zero page, on the Poster Children page, on Twitch at PCJCUSA, and on the Poster Children YouTube channel. Usually live stream Friday afternoons every other week. We, of course, got delayed last week, which turned into a week-long delay, so we missed. Yes, so apologize for that.
We had a show.
You can patronize us at patreon.com/Radio0. Thank you to everyone who has patronized us and is patronizing us. Yeah, that's it. Okay, we're done. Thank you.
Been
Good
a
night.
long day. I don't know if it's been a long day for you.
Nope.
Really? You haven't been worried about this day for like since last year?
All I was worried about. So the only problem is since we had visitors, I had to shower. My shower schedule was off. So my plan today was to shower later after doing yard work. And today I had to shower, then go to Lowe's, not a sponsor, and
take bread
get a
out
bunch
of. You had to take bread out of
that's
the
right.
oven.
I had to
too.
take bread out of the oven. Then I had to go to Lowe's, get a bunch of stuff. Then I did some yard work, got myself sweaty, then had to sit and not sweat for a while out on the front porch, and then had to socialize. Then I had to go back out and do more yard work, and so I'm sweaty again. And so it's just I need to time my day. If I'm
Around
going to
your
be
shower?
exerting myself, yes, the sweatiness.
So we were with Brazilians, and Brazilians take multiple showers every day. You
Exactly,
know that? They
and I
actually do that.
yeah,
You
no,
could
I
have done that.
understand. I don't do that though.
Yeah.
I
'Cause you're a
am the
white
opposite. I would love to be able to skip a day, because I'm a pasty white man who gets very itchy and dry if I bathe
Too often.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it gets crazy. But I will bathe. If there's a day I have to go and interact with people who are not, garden center employees or something, right? I will take a shower. But if not, if I can get away with it, I'll extend that shower window as long as I can, actually. Although, after a few days it becomes uncomfortable. But so that was thrown off. Oh, I have another thing to talk about. I forgot.
And I'm waiting to see the live chat. If anybody has said hello, it looks like my internet connection was restored, so that's good.
Ooh, have we not been streaming?
I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't gotten a red light. I don't think.
I actually do feel kind of sick. I have been worried. So my capoeira instructor and his beautiful wife and a student of theirs came today to do a workshop at Illinois State University. Let me take this off.
Very professional. Here's a tip. Well, first off, take the headphones off before you remove the sweater.
Hey, you know
that's
what
always good. And
it's
then
a hot flash.
And then maybe remove
hot flash.
Remove the sweater before you start live casting.
So, in order to do this, last year we had to go in front of a fee board and request money to bring them here, because they need to be paid because they're artists. And so that's like a whole, you have to make a whole presentation and you have to explain why it's important for a university that is trying to enhance its diversity offerings to bring something that comes from both Africa and Brazil.
And I would just like to say, you said they have to be paid because they're artists, which I think falls on deaf ears if
Yeah.
you are participating in our capitalist nightmare. So I think what you have to say is they get paid because they teach, and this is what they do.
This is
it's
their
job.
This is their job.
Because
They
when you
get-
say
yeah.
they should get paid because they're
Because
artists.
yeah, I'm sorry.
that's
I'm sorry.
kind of-
Artists. Yes, I know. It does, and I'm feeling
People
sick,
are
and
like,
that's why I said
what?
that.
What? Artists should get
yeah,
paid?
Yeah, no, of course not.
What
no.
planet?
What planet? This is we're
Hippie?
We're promoting. Oh, it's Larry. Hi, Larry. We had a show. So, but oh my God, what's going on now? Anyway, so going in front of the feed board, then you have to wait for like 6 months to find out whether or not they think that what you're doing is worthwhile, what you're going to offer is worthwhile. And then, so 6 months later, like in the middle of this, I didn't even find out if we were funded for this until like September or something. And then we found out we were funded, which we should be funded for, because he's an amazing teacher of a art that, is and like from a direct lineage of where it started. So perfect. So we
This is like a story about how you bought a new car, but then you talk about how you
the
went,
car was made.
You looked at your bank account, made sure that there's
I know.
money in the
well,
account.
I'm just saying, like this whole
how
like,
long
like,
it took you to save
like,
the money.
and then you've got somebody coming to do something like this, and then like let me ask you, you listeners here, will you come to a capoeira workshop?
Listener,
Will you come? Of course not. You're not going to do that because, it's too cold outside, or you don't know what capoeira is. It's much more comfortable to stay in your bed or to sit in your chair and play your video games or watch TV or listen to this podcast. So then you've got to try to find people to come to your event to experience something new. So it's always very, very, very worrisome. And then I don't think we've had people over at our house since the pandemic started, right? Who has been in our house?
I feel like there have been people, but maybe not.
I'm trying to think of, maybe Matthew came over or something. Who would have come over here?
My brother and Howie.
Those people don't count. They're in our band. They
Yeah.
went on tour with us. Yeah, the band people don't count. I thought about that too. They don't count. No, because
Hear that?
like
Anyone who's been in a band with us, band people don't count.
you don't count for coming over to our house because we slept in a basement in
Poughkeepsie?
small Albany, New York, where there were like needles and dog shit, next to us. So our house, by comparison, is cleaner than that. So it doesn't count. So I was, concerned about how dirty, not even how dirty our house is, just like how much of a fucking crazy person I look like. Like there's a green chandelier here with test tube. I'm looking right now above us at a green chandelier with test tubes hanging off of it, and the test tubes have like all different colors of water in it, and then like there's Mardi Gras beads and like plastic flowers all over it. I mean, it kind of looks like one of those Polish chandeliers, though. Like they have this, and then it also kind of is also inspired by what's his name? Nick Cave, the artist.
Although apparently Nick Cave, the musician, just had an art exhibition with Brad Pitt in Finland or something. So now when you say Nick Cave, the artist, even though Nick Cave has done visual art.
Nick Cave, the Chicago gay
there
artist.
There we go.
Nick
the
Cave,
Chicago artist. That's good.
Chicago person of color gay artist.
All right, go on.
So where was I? So just kind of looking at this house,
wandering around
I'm just trying to figure out like
your HR Puff and Stuff house.
How much of a crazy person? Like, what am I going to hear after this? Like, I've known this person for 15 years. I've known these people for 15 years, and they've never been in my house.
Mm-hmm.
And I whatever they think of me. And they probably don't think that much of me anyway, right? But I don't want them to think worse of me, So I painted this wall.
So you're ashamed of your house, is what you're saying.
I'm ashamed of what I've done to it.
But yet, you were the one who did it. It's not like
I know.
It's not like when you bring someone over to your house and you've got a dog that's just taking a dump on the floor, and you're ashamed that your dog takes dumps on the floor. It's kind of like, well,
I
took a dump on the floor, and I'm really ashamed that there's a dump on the floor.
That's me.
And it's like, well,
I
wait
took
a
the
minute.
dump on the floor.
Yeah.
So yesterday was the last warm day for a while. So I decided that I would paint the pee wall in the bathroom. And it's not even. We were okay. So
Not
there's
the pee
apparently
wall.
there's a pee corner I didn't know about. And your son was like, "Oh yeah, the pee corner." And I was like, "What's that?" He's like, "Well, I'm not the only person who misses sometimes in the house."
Yeah, I don't.
And he's
I'm
telling
not
me
so
all
sure
about
that.
Yeah, he's telling me all
I
about the pee corner, and I'm like, no.
Spend a lot of time
it's not-
wiping up the pee corner.
So the wall next to the sink,
That's
know,
not the pee corner.
no, it's not the pee corner, but it's like got drips on it,
Yeah,
and I've
from
been
the
looking
sink.
at it from the sink, and like I guess I was supposed to paint the bathroom like a high gloss with a high gloss paint or something, or I'm supposed to wash the walls or something. What do you or I just went downstairs and there's like I have a giant paint can full of that color. So I yesterday decided to paint the wall.
Well, yeah. So to be clear, regular wall maintenance should not be, I'm going to paint it every once in a while. It should be like,
should it
I
be?
need to be able to wipe it down. That's regular wall maintenance. It's
Okay,
not.
yeah, and I don't wipe it
when
down.
this wall starts looking funky, I need to wipe it down, as opposed
like a
to
pee wall.
I need to paint the wall every couple of months to make it look okay.
Well, I haven't painted it in a year.
Exactly.
So I painted it. And it looks better. You could see, where I missed also, because
And apparently, you can see that on the pee wall too. Not you.
But so I painted that, and then I came in the kitchen, and then there's this area behind where the garbage can and the recycling bin are. That when they hit the wall, they like make this black. Like, how do they even make that mark on the wall? It's like black. It's just disgusting. And I'm like, I better paint that. And I have painted that over before, too. So I went downstairs, and I found the Kill Z, and I painted over that area. And then I was like, okay, that looks better. And then I looked at the rest of that little wall area, and now that one area of the wall looks better, the rest of the wall looks like a pee wall.
So long story short, Rose spent the last 24 hours like every time she'd paint a wall, and then she'd
saw
look
another,
at the wall, and so she just kind of went in a circle around the house painting.
Yeah. And so the other thing is I was supposed to talk to Ian, our friend Ian Mackay, yesterday. I was supposed to talk to him. And instead of and I had him I was just like, okay, we're gonna talk at 11 o'clock. So at 11 o'clock his time, 10 o'clock my time, that's when I figured I was going to be
Time zones.
I figured I was going to be sitting at my desk at work, and I could talk to him instead of doing work, and that would be really fun. I'd talk to him about music or something like that, so it would kind of like be work. But I was painting the walls instead. And then I looked at my phone later, and I there was like a message from him. Hey, what's up? Did I get the time wrong? And I was like, oh shit! And now I'm gonna have to explain to him, like what I was doing, like that I was painting walls. So I thought to myself, well, I'm not gonna tell him. Maybe he won't ask. I'll just be like, I'm sorry, I got stuck at work. I got hung up at work, and I couldn't talk to you and stuff. So like I'm talking to him like as I'm driving in the car to work.
And this is a person who's like a human lie detector.
Yes. He's
can
like,
smell bullshit.
So
A continent away.
So what? How come you couldn't answer the phone before? And I said, well, and then what did I start telling him? So 9 months ago. I don't remember what I told him. I told him this whole long convoluted story, and then he's like, so wait, why? What were you doing at 11 o'clock today? And I was like, I was painting a wall. I was painting a wall because my capoeira instructor is coming. I'm saying capoeira, but it's capoeira. Is coming to my house. He's the first person who's been to my house in years, and I'm scared of him. And he's like, what the fuck? He's like, what? If I ever come visit you, you better have gilded gold all over the walls. That's what he said. If he ever comes and visits us. So, yeah. And then we had a discussion about the pee wall. We had a discussion about, apparently in his house, and I probably shouldn't be talking about him, but there's enough about him on the internet that's probably wrong. So you can take this or leave it, but he said that all the people in his house put the seat down in the toilet. He's like, do the men in your house put the seat up or down? I'm like, they leave it up.
That's not true.
Well, but there's 3 of you guys when
Right.
when Dairy King is here. There's 3 of you and 1 of me. Why should you have to put it down for me?
But I do put it down, but that's fine.
So you do put it down. Okay.
But I'm also transitioning into just peeing sitting down. And I read an article about it too. It's like so much better for men anyways, especially older men.
Is there okay, so now let's talk
So all the
let
reasons
me
why I
catch up
do
on-
it, I just got validation. So yeah, I have no shame. I'm spending more time sitting down peeing
Oh.
than standing up.
I saw somebody's pickup truck and it said Joe Biden on it. And I was like, "Oh, that's interesting. A pickup truck with a Joe Biden sticker on it." And then I got closer to it and it said Joe Biden and then in small print underneath I talked about this already. It said peas sitting down.
That's right.
And then I was like, dude, like to the most of the world, first of all, it looks like it says Joe Biden. It looks like you're promoting Joe Biden, and then what's wrong with peeing sitting down?
And also,
my
I mean,
husband does it.
before the that's
And
that,
he's a man.
that'll be convincing. Look at him. Pickup guy looks at the pudgy guy with glasses. Hello.
You think that what do you
and the pickup guy goes,
what does he look like?
Exactly.
What does the pickup truck guy look like in your mind?
He looks like James Arness.
Who's that?
Peter Graves' brother.
Oh.
I found that out this week.
So I'm like trying to our guests just left, and everything turned out well, I think, except for like some of the students misbehaved a little bit.
Oh, the workshop, not at our house.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Our house
Need to clarify
turned
that.
out okay, except that I took them upstairs and there's mouse poop upstairs.
It may not be mouse poop. It may be
Raccoon poop.
no.
Oh,
that
what?
would be much larger.
Okay.
It may be chipmunk poop.
Nice.
But I'm changing the downspouts, the ends of the downspouts, and it might be harder for chipmunks to navigate.
Okay.
Actually,
Out of the house or into the house?
well, they go up and down the downspouts, and then I think they find their way into the attic.
Okay. Oh well, whatever. So, but in the workshop, there's like I'm just gonna talk. I don't know. So our club president, our RSO club president, who's instrumental in helping us get these grants and stuff. She wanted to show off her teaching abilities too. That's all. And you don't teach when there's another teacher there, especially one that's like older than you. So not even older, just like a little higher up in capoeira than you. And I don't know how to when let's say you brought in a guest. Let's say you're doing your design thinking workshop, okay, with your boys from the College of Business, and then some little whippersnapper, let's say some little like design student comes in and says like, let me teach you about design thinking. It's all about design, and like they only know their section of it. What would you do?
I don't know. It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Because I'm a man. I establish authority.
Well, anyway.
Oh, no, this didn't happen to you.
Yeah, it didn't happen
Yeah,
to
no.
me. It happened to a man.
I'm trying to think if I have had problems with people. Trying to. Yeah, I don't think trying to think if I've had that problem recently in a class.
Yeah, because I used to have that problem being a woman teaching computer programming.
Yeah.
You know, I've actually had, and I know the student. You know which student would have. Yeah, I did have a student confront me. Well, why don't you do it this way, little lady? And it's like, you know what? Because I learned in 1994. 1992, while I was programming a flight simulator in 8386 assembler, that this is not the way to do that. What's your story, dude? You weren't even alive then. Anyway, all right, so I'm just trying to kind of get over this big scary thing ended up okay. It's fine. It worked out okay, and part of our house is painted now, so that's nice. You know. Yeah. I mean, every time, and I was struck by the fact that every time I fixed some little area up, then all the areas around it looked bad. Like, and then on top of it, I've got the plant that's been in our bathroom for forever.
The one I knocked over when
No,
got up
that
from the
hasn't
toilet
been there forever. That was
instead of
only there.
standing.
It was only there for a little while. That's right. You should be standing. We've got like a pothos plant, the everyman plant, that's been there forever, and it's got like it's what color is the bathroom now? It's still blue, Larry. Still it's the same color.
we keep the cans in the basement.
Yeah.
Extra.
Although I've always wanted to paint that bathroom like magenta. One day,
Always?
Yeah.
You mean even when you were painting it blue? You
No.
were thinking,
Always after I painted it blue.
Okay.
But this pothos plant, like all this, like there's like yellow leaves on it. This pothos plant has got like vines coming off of it that are like about 20 feet long, and some of them are now the like there's like yellow leaves on them. I'm like, oh, my dude, what's going on? Like, are you dying? Like, did I overwater you? Oh, it's just so sad. Our plants don't look very good in this house lately. You looking at I turned that one around. It was facing the sun.
I just looked around. I did, and you've already targeted one that apparently I showed disappointment in, which I didn't.
Well, I'm looking at it. No, that plant actually looks okay.
It was more like, oh yeah, there are plants in here. I'm like looking around. Boy, there are a lot of plants.
Larry's saying that if we paint the wall yellow, we may not have to color the pea wall for a long time. Yeah,
So
I
I'll
knew you
tell
were
you,
going that way.
the bathroom in my house when I was a kid, it had a
Pea corner?
no, a heat. Well, yeah, it had a heater, like a heat.
The downstairs
duct.
bathroom?
Yeah, and then that would get rusty. Have to paint it. Yeah.
Wait, in the house that I know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Just happens, man. That was another argument to sit down. It's just how filthy urinating into a toilet, sit down toilet is in terms of how much spray
comes out.
So it's not even if you miss. It's more like
if you hit, got like a little
there's
foam.
Spatter.
Yeah,
there's spatter.
Yeah.
So it's actually pretty awful. The more you think about it.
Yeah, you should sit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well,
Unless
okay,
you're worried that someone's going to walk into your own personal bathroom in your home and judge you. A cowboy looks somewhat like James Arness, comes walking into your bathroom unannounced and scorns you for being a man peeing sitting down. Unless that's going to happen to you, I think you can go right ahead.
I just lost my train of thought now.
No, just now?
Yeah.
Really? I had a moment today. So as I was waiting, I took my shower, came downstairs, and I was waiting to take the bread out of the oven and then go to Lowe's, and I, not a sponsor, and I got a message on my phone that my FedEx delivery was not able to be delivered because it was signature required and no one was home.
Oh, God. Yeah, this
and
is
so
a great
I got
story.
that message while I was sitting at my kitchen table. I thought maybe for a second, hey, maybe was I still in the shower? And then the doorbell didn't ring, and then I went outside and looked for the Post-it note, right? You always get the Post-it note that says we need a signature, can't deliver it. Here either, it will come back, next business day, or you can reschedule it to be delivered to the FedEx office, held there. The Post-it note wasn't there. I'm like, this is strange. And then I went, and we have a camera that points to out of our front porch, right? Basically to keep an eye on packages and just to keeps an eye on the front. So I went and I looked back at the video, and I saw the FedEx truck pull up in front of our house, and then I saw it sit there for 2 minutes, and then I saw it drive away.
On the video, the guy never came out.
Never came out.
Christian D. Francesco says UPS has done that to me multiple times.
Yeah. So my thinking is, and I did not. I have video evidence and everything. I did not call up and angrily and say, because I'm thinking what's going on here is that, okay, so you're a FedEx driver, you're being tracked, GPS, I'm sure, right? And
sure.
and everything's timed. I
mean, even you know where he is.
Exactly, right. You can look
you're
up.
Paying him.
Your delivery's 5 minutes away. Look on a map, right? Does FedEx do that? I know UPS does and Amazon does that. I don't know if FedEx does that, but I know they do. I'm sure they do it internally. They may not allow me to see it. But yeah, and I'm thinking, okay, so anytime you're a FedEx driver and you get a signature delivery to a residential address during working hours, right? It doesn't apply to COVID anymore, but it's like you kind of make a judgment call. You go, you know what? I don't think anyone's going to be here. I'm going to sit here for the 2 minutes that I'm allowed to do to walk up to a door and then fill out the no signature form. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to maybe eat something.
Here's what I don't understand.
Check my email because
you're going to have to come back, though, right? He's going to have to come back. He's going to have to fill out paperwork, right?
Well,
why
no.
not just?
So what I did I already rescheduled to get delivered to the office, the FedEx office, because I don't want to go through this again. But yeah, and so sometimes what does happen is sometimes that's what I don't fully understand is that I feel like it's happened before. And then the package has shown up later in the day, like the driver comes back around.
Feels guilty.
I don't know if it feels guilty. It's like something about, like, if I've got time, I'll come back at the end of the day and deliver this, right, when someone's home. But then I have to mark it as, not signed for. And, yeah, it's just kind of a crapshoot when they do that. So I'm not going to make a stink about it unless, of course, it disappears. It's our master tapes for Flower being sent back from the mastering plant or mastering service. So,
Larry says that the worst is when your piece splits into two different directions. I just didn't get that out and Mike Markowski was saying that he would come to the Capoeira thing, except that there's an ocean. See, that's why you won't come, though.
I feel like my college roommate was related. Was it his grandfather had developed a surgical procedure to help people with urinary
Who's that, the
stream. I'm not going to say who it is,
Okay.
but like urinary stream misdirection and stuff. Like so some people have problems with,
Oh, yeah.
spray.
Sometimes I pee and then you can see two different streams coming out. I figure
boy.
that's, yeah.
I don't have that. I don't.
Well,
I guess
because you don't
I'm not
have
really
a
paying attention.
vulva.
Yeah, no, but this is.
Well, that was when I was younger and I could kind of look down there and go, oh, look at that.
See anything. All right.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll let you know. I'll let you know if I ever get my package
God.
from FedEx. But it was. Now I have video
Disheartening.
evidence.
Yeah, you should send it.
It's actually the first time I've gotten complete video evidence. You remember a couple of years ago when that woman put the dog poop into my
yeah.
garbage can,
Yeah,
my empty garbage can, but the camera was just was set perfectly so that when the one of the posts on the porch blocked the garbage can, so I didn't have the actual moment of the dog poop bag being dropped into our steaming, hot, empty garbage can sitting by the curb. So this time I was like, oh, finally pays off. I gotcha.
Yeah. Now you can't do anything with it.
Yeah, I'm not going to do anything because this. So I know exactly what's going. I feel like I know what exactly going on. Is it's these drivers are in a time prison, basically. It's like you're getting paid, and it's like. It looks like you spent 2 minutes and 30 seconds trying to deliver this package to this door, and you're only allowed 2 minutes and 15 seconds. That's the kind of stuff that they have to deal with probably every day when they get
walk up to the door and ring it, though, man.
So this
it's
is the
like
thing.
Trick or treat.
I really think it's kind of like no one's going to be here. These signature required deliveries to a house at 9:30 in the morning. It's like it's not worth the trouble. Not going to happen. I'm just gonna eat my whatchamacallit bar right now.
My hot flash is over.
I'm going to check my email. Check my text messages.
Check my. All right. So
it's late stage capitalism.
I'm glad you're not upset about it.
I will be upset about it in 3 days if our master tapes have disappeared after 30 years. What is it, 35 years? They've mailing them across the planet every 10 years to get, and then all of a sudden they've been lost. That's the only problem
They're
I would
not
have.
They're not falling apart or anything, right?
Oh, I
Master
don't know if
tapes?
I actually didn't ask if they. I'm assuming they baked them when they did the transfer this time around.
Wow.
And now we have a digital copy as opposed to I think there is a what is not VHS. There's I'm trying to remember what format it was. There's like a digital videotape, but not ADAT like this. Kind of weird video format where the record was on when the CD got made. When that have been 1992, 1993? It's like we do have a digital copy that's on some primitive format. So now we have a digital copy of all the masters. That's not well, it is volatile, I guess, but not as volatile. What else? I got a phone call on Monday or Wednesday in the middle of class from the high school, the junior high school, which
This is
put
like
me in a panic.
Bragging.
No, it's not because it's I don't know. It's not bragging. It's a well, okay. I won't talk about it.
No.
then.
You should no. Go ahead. Because you would never.
I thought it
brag.
was a good story.
Yeah, it is a good story. Yeah, go on.
Well, now I feel bad because it
No,
seems like
nobody
I'm bragging.
cares.
Well, then why would you say
You're
that?
not a braggart. Okay, fine. So what else do you have?
No, so I get the phone call in the middle of class, and I kind of panic because if you're a parent and you get the phone call from the junior high or the high school, what goes through your mind?
Yeah,
somebody's sick. I'm going to have to figure out how to get them home, or they're in trouble. They're in the principal's office. I'm going to have to hear about something awful they've done, or someone else did something awful to my child, and I have to hear about it, and then I'm going to have to go to school. And so in that 10 seconds it took me to walk out of the classroom and answer the phone, I went through all of those scenarios, right? You know, you go through that.
You walked out of the class while you were teaching? Oh, I just
said,
answer the phone when I'm standing right in front of the class.
I don't do that. I say, oh, hold on a minute. I was going around doing help and stuff. I wasn't lecturing. So it was...
That's hard to believe. No, I'm just kidding. Go on.
What the hell?
Come on. I'm teasing you.
It's not. No, I think you're attacking me.
Oh.
It's like, oh, these kids, they can't take a joke. I'm teasing you.
I'm teasing you. Go on.
Do you have a girlfriend?
My head hurts.
It's like little kids hate that.
Oh.
I'm just teasing him. Yeah, and then it's a phone call, and I answer it, and it's like, oh, just want to tell you, want to do a positive phone call. I do, and it's like, want to tell you how great your student is and how they're doing in class. And
because you did not sign up for parent-teacher conferences.
That might be possible. Is that
maybe, right?
We're kind of slacking because
he's
doing fine.
He hasn't done anything wrong.
Exactly.
He's got all
It's
A's, and he's like a class liaison. So every time we go to the school, it's just like, you're like we have
he's
to.
Great.
There's somebody who's taken extra time before us because there's something wrong with their kid. Kid's not doing well or something like that, and like, well, I'm sure the third time's the charm taking this class, and then okay, see you later. Hi, who are you? We're Dow's parents. Oh yeah, he's great.
You have any questions for us?
Yeah.
For me? No.
And then we pull the.
Why is he great?
We're professors, but we're on your side. We're professors, but we don't make you call us doctor. We're good professors. We like you guys.
That's you. I don't feel the need to do that, but you feel the need to somehow twist. Yeah.
No, because there's a tendency of professors to try to lord it over. Lord their professorness over over people who teach, in K through 12, which is basically like somebody who's played paintball once, like trying to talk to a war veteran. We're the people who've played paintball, and
my strategy is I don't need to say anything at all. I don't need to tell them that I'm a professor.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I figure they know, first of all, and second of all, you're talking you don't want to be talked down to either. Let me tell you how education works, little lady.
Well,
look, I'm a professor. I know. I do the same thing as you. All right, whatever.
Okay, so it's not about not having ego. It's about trying not to have your ego hurt. No.
I
I don't
know.
Anyways, yeah,
Brain
it was
hurts.
weird. I was and then yeah, once I started talking, I was just kind of like, I felt like I was not as supportive sounding over the phone as I should have been. I was like, oh, that's great, that's wonderful, but I didn't have much to say, and I was like, it's great, wonderful, I would like to get back to my class. I didn't say that, but it was like
Bye.
I felt, then all of a sudden I felt like a bad parent. I was like, oh, I got this phone call. And it
How
was
come they didn't call
positive.
me? How come
I
they
think
called
I'm first on the list, so they call you when I don't answer the phone.
Jeez.
And so I wouldn't have answered the phone if I was talking,
Yeah.
lecturing. But it was like, oh, this is an emergency. I
Yeah.
better take it. And I've got a moment I can take the call. So I did. What else? Coolio.
Oh, it's too damn hot.
So this is the thing is, when we were on Lollapalooza, we were on second stage. I don't know what year it was. Sometime in the 1990s.
I believe it was 1994 or something, or 1995.
Yeah. And so it was when Lollapalooza still traveled around. And this is how it was explained to us. And I think that's how they explained it to Coolio. Not that we were, it was the idea is they wanted to elevate the second stage a little bit. And so they wanted to have a headliner, like a big deal on the second stage.
And that's why Yola Tango was there.
No,
with us.
They were, I think this is what they said to Coolio, is like, Coolio, we want you to headline second stage instead of being, one of 10 on the main stage or something.
And okay, so
and
wait,
I think
wait,
they paid him a lot of money, actually.
Oh,
I think
good.
compared to us, right?
Yeah.
So then the rest of the second stage band, so what? Coolio played last, Yola Tango
yeah.
played before Coolio.
Possum Dixon.
No,
too.
we played
played before Yola
Tango.
Tango.
Possum Dixon played before us. Was there?
Do-Rag.
Do-Rag, right? Or was it just
were
Bob
good.
Log? It was Do-Rag.
Do-Rag,
Played,
yeah.
opened,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a great lineup.
And tell them who was on the first stage. On the main stage, headliner was Sonic Youth. Was that?
Were they a headliner, or was Hole the headliner?
Oh, Hole left after a while. So
Did they?
yeah, maybe.
They left the
so
tour?
was, I think so. Yeah, I think it was Sonic Youth, Beck, Jesus Lizard, and Pavement were all bands that were on the Lollapalooza with us. And Hole, Courtney Love, but I don't remember seeing. I remember talking to Beck a lot. And hanging out
Anyways,
with
so
Jesus.
yeah,
Okay.
we were on the second stage.
We were on the second
and
stage, and Coolio was headlining the
Yeah.
second stage.
It was great, but it was very, very hot. And so not only did we, I don't remember ever interacting directly with Coolio. His peeps, like Shorty,
Yeah,
right, was part of his
would
posse
hang out
and
with
was
us.
on stage. And
Yeah.
Shorty would also take once we were
We were
doing a pretty
brisk T-shirts.
T-shirt business.
Yeah, yeah.
yes.
So we were
And-
selling T-shirts, Poster Children T-shirts for $10. They let us sell them. They let us sell them, and they did not take a percentage. So we were like raking in the cash. And I made these fucker shirts. I was like, well, what if somebody doesn't like Poster Children, but we still want them to buy a shirt? I'll make a shirt that says fucker on it that looked like a Crayola logo. And we sold tons of those. So we were selling like crazy. Go on. Sorry.
No.
We were selling like crazy, and we were signing the T-shirts too, right? Is that what you were going to say?
Yeah. And so
People buy a shirt, and then we'd sign it with a Sharpie.
So it was doing the DIY,
Yeah.
merch table thing.
Yeah.
And then, I think, so did Coolio start coming out and sign shirts?
Mm-hmm.
He did, right? For a while, Shorty was taking shirts back.
Yeah, they were
right,
taking
and
them back.
signing. But then I think finally Coolio was actually
out.
doing the DIY thing, which was great.
But people, we were joking because we were saying that Coolio, they were signing shirts. They were returning the signed shirts back to the people who were buying the shirts, and while Coolio was on the stage.
right.
We were joking about that.
Yeah. But yeah, one of the things is he would always say it's right. Is it in one of the songs or
Heidi has a fucker shirt.
Too damn hot?
Yeah, it's too damn
Coolio would
hot,
say
yeah.
everybody say it's too damn hot, and that's been a mantra in our lives ever since then.
Yeah, so when it would be really hot outside, we would go, everybody say it's too damn hot.
And so I guess what I'm saying is that even though Coolio, a famous guy and everything like that, he's been a part of our lives for
ever since we met him in the 1990s.
30 years. Like never saw him again. Probably never even interacted with. I don't remember interacting with Coolio, but it's just kind of like been a part of the fabric of our family for forever. So it was a little sad when he passed away. Every time we say now, it's too damn hot.
That's another person that's gone.
Yeah.
People keep dying. Yeah. All right. So, okay. Dan and DeCock says Lollapalooza 1995, right? Main stage. Forgot. Sonic Youth, Hole, Cypress Hill, Pavement, Sinead O'Connor, Elastica, who was not on the...
Tricky, right?
Moby was not... Tricky was not when we were there, no.
Oh, so
Moby,
I
Super
saw... When did I
Chunkback,
see Tricky at Lollapalooza?
That was after, I think.
Moby? Really?
Yeah. So, remember that they would change after a while.
Oh.
So, yeah, because... what's their names were on the... Yeah. Oh, Larry was there. He pushed his friends by our stage when we were playing. He told them, "You have to listen to Poster Children." They did, and they became instant fans. Aww. Yeah, some bands were only on certain dates.
Okay.
Like us, we were only on we played like 5 shows. We played the Gorge in George, Washington, which was the most beautiful venue, and then we play like Vancouver or something because Howie Klein came and took my bass off the stage for me. President of Sire.
It sounds like Moby was on the second stage on a different.
Yeah, it wasn't
leg of the tour.
There.
We weren't on it the whole time.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway. Oh, it says Hum was on the second stage, and I can't believe that they were on the second stage on that year.
No, they weren't on that year.
Yeah.
They might have been on the next year.
Yeah, I feel like although...
No, they did, didn't they do, what's the other one?
I don't remember.
The more metal-y one.
Riot Fest?
No, it also went around.
Dam Builders. Remember the Dam Builders were with us?
They were?
Weren't they? It says Dam Builders here.
We played with them. We did a whole tour with them.
we did a tour with them, yeah. With them and, what was that other band?
Was it Better Than Ezra? No.
No.
What's the other band like that? So the Better Than Ezra was only one show?
Breeders? Wait, there's a poster.
The Dam Builders. Okay, so the Dam Builders weren't on that Better Than Ezra tour.
I'm getting them mixed up with Imperial Teen. Okay. Were we even in a band? Like, is there, like, what if we were not even in a band? We're just...
It's entirely possible. It's like people listening to delusional old Gen X people talking about a pretend band that they imagine themselves in.
Danny says, speaking of Pavement, War is Flower Power. You spelled it wrong, Danny. It says Plower on it. I hope you know. Shirt next to their show last night, and sat next to a big Poster Children fan. Aw.
That's nice.
That's cool. Very cool. Okay. So Pavement played?
Apparently, I went to see Heaven 17. So this is the thing is like
you didn't go see them yesterday. Oh.
No. Oh, Pavement. Yeah, but in Chicago. So also the night
Pavement
before
played that.
Yeah, last week. So last week Salaryman played on Friday here in Bloomington.
Yeah.
The Thursday night I was in Chicago to see Heaven 17, and apparently everybody else was going to see Pavement. But
I love your story
because I'm cool.
Yeah, you didn't go see Pavement. Yeah. But and tell me, so what was the audience like? Oh, so Christian Francesco says Buffalo Tom. Yeah, we love them. We play with them too at some point.
Not Lollapalooza.
No. So how was the audience at the Heaven 17 show?
Well, it was a lot of old dudes that look like me and look like other people. Yeah, it was just a bunch of people staring at each other going, "Did I see you at shows 30 years ago?" It was that kind of situation where it's like I might know this person, or they're just in my obvious demographic. Yeah, so it was a bunch of old people. There were a couple young people there. That was strange, right? It was even strange for the Heaven 17 guys. They were very happy, but they were trying to suss out, like, how does someone who's in their 20s, know to show up at the first U.S. tour of Heaven 17 40 years after their greatest records. But yeah, it was it was great. Yeah, Heaven 17 was great. I don't want to talk about Pavement because I didn't go see him, and I've seen Pavement live.
We had an argument with them.
Well, yeah,
we didn't have an argument with them. They fucked us over, man. But I think they were having a bad day. So
yeah, we were collateral damage. We were not.
Yeah.
We were not a target of.
I
and
really
and,
yeah,
and
I
there
like
was
them.
a member who said, "What did we do this time?" It was just like, is there always something? Always something always happens. It's kind of like similar to Fugazi, where not, but it's where like, oh, shit just happens, like things get out of control.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas like with Pavement, things just some effed up thing would happen, but it wasn't.
And they wouldn't do anything to solve it. Whereas Fugazi probably would do stuff to solve it.
Exactly. It was much more of a proactive.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like it's at certain points, certain bands get this kind of momentum around them, and yeah, it was just crap.
Dan says he saw Girls Against Boys in Portland and Seattle last weekend. We played with them in Europe somewhere.
We played with them in the middle of the United States. We did 3 shows.
Girls Against Boys?
Very poorly attended shows it was us, Girls Against Boys, and...
What?
What the hell was the name of that band? Soul Coughing.
Oh, that was Girls Against Boys with Soul Coughing?
I feel like, wasn't it?
I don't know if you're right.
Who was the third
that.
band?
I don't remember, but
I feel like it was.
Might be. And Girls Against,
Was it? Or maybe it wasn't.
Yeah, Soul Coughing were so good.
Yeah, but it was a nightmare because
it's a stupid
no one
name
came
for
to
a band.
those shows.
Yeah,
because it was before. Yeah, I feel like it was Girls Against Boys. Was it not?
Dan, wait, he saw Girls Against Boys in Portland and Seattle last weekend and has a ticket to see them tomorrow in San Diego, but his car broke down this week. I remember. I think I saw you. I think I saw that on Facebook.
Anyways,
like
if you're not into Heaven 17, you should check them out. Oh, we did a cover, right? We did a cover of a Heaven 17
yeah,
song.
I totally forgot
20
about
years
that.
ago or whatever.
You went all by yourself too.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I got a parking space. I got a Spot Hero, not a sponsor, parking space.
Yeah.
That was just behind some apartment building. Like they just rent out their parking space. So
Is that how that? Oh, so it's like Uber for
Airbnb for parking
spots.
Now, yeah, cool. It's kind of like that, but then it's all they also. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to advertise this this company, but anyways, it was great because I was able to park. I walked and got some.
Wait, so it's somebody's
vegan empanadas.
Wait, I'm sorry, I have to ask a question now. So, like, if I lived in Chicago and I had a parking spot and I wasn't going to use it, like one night, I could rent it out.
I think it's more likely that the owner of the building, right, rents out the spaces to tenants, right? And if there's a tenant who doesn't want to pay, $500 a month for a parking space, right, or whatever it would cost, they basically lease it out. I'm assuming that's what it is.
Okay. All right, go on.
Yeah, and then what was it? Yeah, it was a bunch of old dudes, some old women. That sounds terrible. I feel more comfortable saying old dudes, but watching Heaven 17. It was the first time they played it in the United States. They started out as kind of a studio band, a production crew, and they've played live more in Europe in the years since. It's only got the two of the 3 original members, the other keyboard player. So this is the thing: is Heaven 17 grew. So the first 2 Human League records are completely different than the big hit Human League record. The first 2 Human League records, it was a trio with 2 synth players and Phil Oakey, the singer. And then the 2 synth players quit and left Phil Oakey kind of in the lurch, the singer, and he took the guy who did the slideshow. So there was a 4th member of Human League originally who did all the visuals, the projections, but at the time they were slides. And so him and the singer got their fans, 2 of their fans who were the high school equivalent, British equivalent of high school girls, to sing backup. And then they got a guy from the Rosillos, I think, to help play guitar and write songs. And they went to Martin Rushent's, the producer's studio, and created, the famous Human League record, right? And these two other guys had quit Human League and formed Heaven 17 with the singer that they originally wanted to be the Human League singer, but he wasn't available. And so these poor guys in Heaven 17, well, former Human League members, wound up, kind of, they had hits in Europe, and they had a little like underground hits in the U.S., but they were unfortunate in that like the band that they left and had formed, right, became this huge hit band, Human League, and then they were also doing synth pop, and were not as famous. But anyways, two of those guys were doing the show, the singer and one of the synth players. And what was really great is at the end they played "Being Boiled," which is an early Human League song. That's really amazing, and it was pretty amazing when they played it, and so it was that was really great. And then they played a bunch of Heaven 17 songs, which are great too. So it started out with "We Don't Need This Fascist Groove Thing," which
cool.
was the song we had covered, and it was
Dare
great.
was Human League's breakout record. That's
Exactly. So
yeah.
Dare is the Human League record after the synth guys who formed Heaven 17 quit Human League. and yeah, if you know the story of Dare, I love this because I'm kind of obsessed with Martin Rushent, the guy who produced that record. He produced Buzzcocks stuff. He produced the Pete Shelley Homo Sapien stuff, right? That's actually before Dare. That's like right when he built his synth studio. And Martin Rushent was a key component of why Dare is a hit, right? Is his production, his participation, his equipment, basically, right? They built that sound, that Dare sound, in his studio, and so he was a key component of that. So I'm slightly obsessed with that. Whereas, and so that's how that record was able to be pulled off when basically the musicians had quit Human League and formed a new band. It was like, I think the assumption was when those guys quit and they formed Heaven 17, it was like, okay, it's over. Human League is over without us, I'm assuming, and it wasn't. It really it took off. It was amazing.
You know the song Don't You Want Me?
Yeah.
Is that the Human League?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. So I do know one of their songs.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I like about the Human League is when you were bowling back in 2003. I know it was then because you would take Dow or Graham with you like in the car seat.
Yeah.
But what Rick's bowling team was called?
The Human League.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love that. So what else do you have? I'm starting to just kind of realize that the workshop is over, and there's like so many other things happening too at the, oh God, there's so many things. We saw like that Japanese cymbal player or gong player yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Improvised.
What was his name?
Oh, see now why would you do that to me? I
we
was
don't know
not
his name.
prepared. I did know his name, but I don't know it off the top of my head.
This is this dude playing like he had 4 giant gongs and then a drum set, and it was all like there was no loops or anything like that. That was why I asked him if like all the noises that he made like if any of them were amplified, and he said no. Man, the sounds that this dude made with like, and he was bowing.
Bowing the gongs and the cymbals.
And like he had like little bells, and he would like plat them around and stuff, and like
that was the one thing, and I almost got the giggles, but he put his face down on the snare drum and started.
He blew into it. It sounded like a saxophone.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, I've seen everything else, right? I've seen people bow cymbals and bow gongs, and you hear those sounds kind of a lot of times in movie soundtracks and stuff.
Yeah.
But one thing I'd never heard is someone use the snare drum head as almost like a reed or something.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I got to go home and press my face against a snare drum and try to get it to vibrate like that. That was really amazing.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing sound.
Yeah. I was watching that for a while. Like, and I was excited to go see it too, because your friend Matthew Smith was there, so that's nice. And Jason Finkelman from U of I was there too. And so it was exciting for me because, and Stephen Robinson from here. Whenever somebody
had him
comes
on the show,
whenever
a year or so.
Oh yeah,
Stephen.
whenever somebody comes from Champaign to here, I always get very excited. It's very, especially when I don't have to worry about them having a good time here. So that was really nice.
Yeah, and I think it says something that it was like, Stefan's kind of building up a live music improv, right?
Yeah. Tatsuya Nakatani.
Thank you.
No, I don't know. Larry's asking if that's it. I'm going to look it up.
Sounds right.
Yeah. That's nice.
And so, like having sort of building up a community, an audience of people who are into this kind of stuff, and a venue, right? The come together space.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful space.
Oh God, what a beautiful space! I don't feel like I've ever been in there.
We have our students years ago had a.
It didn't look like that though. Come on.
Yeah, most of their stuff was in the basement. I think
Can I look at a Facebook thing that happened before? Can I look at what happened yesterday?
Can you look at a Facebook thing that's happening in the future? Can you look for anything on Facebook?
God,
no.
damn it.
You can the only thing Facebook does is present things to you. Anything else, like I'm trying to find something that I saw on Facebook before. I'm trying to find an event that I remember going to. That becomes impossible.
Percussionist. Oh yeah, that's him. Yeah, Tatsuya Nakatani. Yeah. He was amazing. He was really nice too. Like I went up and talked to him afterwards, and what a sweetie. And he's on tour for like 3 months, he said. And he's from
he's headed out east.
Yeah. And he's from Truth or Consequences, New Mexico.
Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really well. I was watching that. I was really enjoying it, and then I remembered that I was an artist. That's like I was. Oh, I'm an artist.
I can make stuff, and I can be part of a community.
I don't have to be embarrassed that I have a whole bunch of plastic Batmans from McDonald's in my house with glitter on their legs. Like, that's okay.
That's right.
I don't have to be embarrassed that there's a big green chandelier in here with...
She's an artist.
Yeah, I'm an artist. So, well, people will call me that. People will say that, and I'd be like, I am not. But it's okay to be arty. I'm more like arty.
Ooh, that's worse.
I'm arty.
That's not good.
I'm arty.
Arty. You don't want to be
I'm Crazy Aunt Rose.
There you go. We watched a movie the other day. I made a note to talk about it just because of how, I don't know, I'd love to hear your the movie Time After Time with Malcolm McDowell.
Fuck you that I have to think about this fucking movie again.
Mary Steenburgen and David, what's his name?
Warner,
thank you.
Tron. Now I want to see a picture of the chandelier.
I think what's fascinating to me, maybe we can take... you can.
It's gonna be a problem.
We can.
No.
Please don't move the camera. I'll take a picture of it.
Okay.
I'll write a note that the chandelier will be the image for this week's episode.
Okay. And before you do that, go on.
Oh, come on.
All right. So
it
time after
disrupts
time.
the flow. What I found fascinating is I had seen the movie. I saw it in the theater. We had both seen it in the theater when we were kids, right? 1979, 1980.
Oh my God! I can't believe I have to think about this movie.
I don't think I've seen it since, but I do remember it. But you remembered a lot of it.
Of course,
you were
I remember all of it.
Like, oh, this happens here. This has happened. You remember this part? And I'm like, no, I remember the basic outline of it, but I'm just trying to understand why. It's because you haven't watched as many movies as I have, or something.
No, because that movie put a huge that had a huge effect on me. I found that movie very scary.
Yeah, so it's H.G. Wells. It's a story of, if you haven't seen it, H.G. Wells has actually invented the time machine. It's before he's written the book, The Time Machine, and then his doctor friend is Jack the Ripper, and then his doctor is a little. As I
came in late
it,
too.
His doctor friend escapes from Scotland Yard, the police, the Bobbies, by jumping into the time machine and going into the future, to San Francisco, 1979. And what's really interesting about this, and I didn't realize it at the time, I knew the guy who directed it and he did Wrath of Khan, right? I believe. But he also did Star Trek 4, which is the one where they go to 1980s America. San Francisco, right? They're in San Francisco,
right?
Right?
With the whales.
This guy wrote that Star Trek, and apparently the scene with the punk rocker on the
bus
with that was a
Leonard
scene that was
Nimoy.
cut out of Time After Time, and he was just like, oh, this is a great scene, I'm going to put it into Star Trek 4.
What? So David Warner just doesn't
Is
like.
David Warner in
No,
which Star Trek
no.
But which Star Trek? Okay, which Star Trek movie is David Warner in? That's my question.
Well,
he's not in Star Trek 4.
No, he's
though,
in
right?
Tron. Larry
He's
is
also
saying,
in Tron.
All right.
And that's the other thing I
Dan
realized.
saw this in the theater. Go on.
Yeah, the woman in Tron is also the woman in Caddyshack, right? One of the women in Tron. I never made that connection.
I don't know.
I found that
so
out the
Larry
other day.
is saying, I remember watching Time After Time on TV. Yes, I watched too on TV.
So your family paid for on TV?
Yeah,
Wow.
believe it or not.
Rich,
Yeah.
Richie Rich.
5 or 6. What? What's the 5 or 6? Why is he saying? Christian is saying.
Star Trek 5 or 6 David Warner was in. Is that?
Is there a Star Trek 6?
Oh, there are so many Star Trek movies. And David Warner's probably been in more than one. But David Warner was a whatchamacallit.
Pasty
orc.
white male?
No.
Oh.
What are they called? Klingon, I think. Wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. I guess he's kind of like, okay, so what do you, yeah. So, all right. So you were watching all commercials all the time. I came downstairs and Rick is watching commercials.
Oh, there was, it's some YouTube video of 30 minutes of commercials
So he
from
was watching that
1977.
Klingon.
Yeah.
He's a Klingon.
Yeah.
And so I came downstairs and that fucking Folgers
That was
commercial.
another thing. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So I don't think I saw Star
You were
Trek 6.
I vaguely remember the commercial. Yeah, and it was is it that one where it's the kid has come home from college?
Yes.
And then you actually said the name before and I was like, Jesus, you remember the name?
I remember that because when I
guy?
was, I remember kind of crying when I saw that fucking ad, and then thinking to myself, one day I'm going to be a mom whose kid goes off to college, and then he's going to come back, and even though I don't drink coffee, he's going to make coffee, and I'm going to remember this fucking ad. Peter.
The other ad in there was an ad of a young Robin Williams. You should look it up. Doing a commercial for Illinois Bell or something. It was a telephone commercial.
Wow.
Yeah. He's doing all sorts of
man.
characters talking into phones while they're at the phone store.
And
But it's
does it have him sniffing coke too? Likely. And
Nice.
Mike Markowski's making fun of Danny Ingram for writing flower power on it for his shirt, but we know Danny knows it's flower power. Sark in Tron, yes, he was Sark. He was evil in Time Bandits same year. Yeah. David Warner.
David Warner. He got typecast.
Yeah. Totally.
Like in
He's a scary guy.
In what is it? Straw Dogs? Is he in Straw Dogs? Who is he in Straw? He's. It's so sad to see David Warner. If that's the movie I'm thinking of, he's a mentally challenged guy, and so it makes you feel sorry for David Warner. There's also a great movie. What's the movie? It's like a 60s London kind of English hipster movie where he plays a crazy artistic guy.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah. Well, also Christian DeFrancesco loves David Warner.
Oh yeah, who doesn't like David Warner?
I don't. He's creepy. He's scary. Okay, so there's a list. Wait, before and then I have
Great
to read.
actor.
Larry says on TV only charged $25 a month, but that's the equivalent of probably $80.
That's insane.
Okay,
My family didn't even have cable. Never had cable.
His
right?
family never had cable. It's true.
Yeah.
And your family didn't even have a live-in maid like mine did. So let's move on.
For us, there were friends who didn't even have a TV, so it was like we had a TV.
But
at
on
least.
principle, they didn't have a TV, right?
Right.
Yeah.
it was like
and that wasn't that they couldn't
TV's
afford it. TV's evil.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
TV's bad for
Mike
you.
Mike Markowski has a movie question for you. So you can type it in, Mike Markowski. While I talk about my list of creepy, blondish white men, David Warner.
There you go. That's
Wait.
it?
No.
I feel like...
Christopher Walken.
Oh, come on. He's great, though.
Creepy as all get out. Who's another creepy blonde?
Creepy blonde.
I mean, you could say Crispin Glover, but he's not old enough.
That's kind of like...
Creepy blonde actors.
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Robert Redford?
That's a different kind of creepy. David Warner. Who was the other one I said? Okay.
So here's a tip: if you're going to make a list, have some names in mind before you start. Like number 1, that guy.
All right, I'm going to type
number
into
2,
Google.
somebody else.
Creepy.
Oh, here we go.
Blonde male actor from the 80s. 35 actors who are creepy no matter who they play. This is going to work right here. This is going to be who are creepy no matter who they play.
So you're reading someone else's list, though.
Gary Busey.
Oh, I like Gary Busey.
Yeah. Willem Dafoe. No, I wouldn't say.
Dafoe's
He's
great.
not creepy. All right, Crispin Glover is on this list.
But that's...
Tilda Swinton, she's creepy. John Malkovich, not creepy. Christopher Walken, right
Blonde.
there. Did I say Christopher Walken?
Yeah, these are obvious. I mean, and they're playing those characters.
Jack Nicholson, come on.
Jack
Vincent
Nicholson.
Price, you can't say those people are creepy. It is obvious.
Vincent Price, though, I mean...
Malcolm McDowell. Okay,
Yeah,
so he's
wow.
on here. Okay, so what do you want to say? Kevin Spacey's. All right, I'm going to turn this off. So what did you want to know about Time After Time?
Oh, I don't know. We had a good conversation about it.
What was it? Did me and you? We had one?
No, we did just
Oh.
we talked about it. I don't feel like we need to talk any more about it. It was pretty gory though. It was
terrible.
definitely that era
Christ.
where they were really pushing PG. I looked. You were like, was this a PG movie? I'm like,
Yeah.
Yep. That's why we saw it, right? It's like I saw it in the theater, you saw it in the theater. It was like, oh, you could go see this movie. There's a severed hand in that movie.
And there's a guy like using a hooked knife to cut women open.
They didn't show them being cut open, but
Yeah.
there was blood and it's Jack the Ripper stuff. So
Mike Markowski got a community standards flag for his question.
Ooh,
so we're very excited about it now. So there's a question here from him that says, there was a movie in the 60s or 70s that was like a murder mystery where it looked like the detectives were trying to figure out the situation was being killed. Where it looked like the detectives that were trying to figure out the situation was being killed in wild ways. An example was that one person was flushed down the drain. Another was taken away by hot air balloons. At the end, the people had come back and weren't killed.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what? No, I know what that movie is. Charlie
and the
Chocolate Factory. Hell.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Is that what you meant, though, Mike?
No, I don't think so. Oh, it's funny though. Oh
He
boy,
thinks the movie had an ensemble cast of comedians of the day.
Oh, wow! It's not the movie with Marty. The other guy. He's not Marty Feldman. He was. Ooh, I feel like this might be that movie. Who's the guy who was married to a Kennedy? Who's kind of on the.
Larry's saying murder can hurt you. Is that
it?
I see community standards thing.
There was
that?
Yeah, a movie with a bunch of comedians. Oh, I wish I could remember this.
No,
name.
he's saying that wasn't the movie.
Okay.
Or we have not guessed the movie yet. So okay.
He knows the movie.
Do you know the movie? Oh, Mike says it might have been it. You guys are Mike is all the way in Hawaii and he's delayed. He's actually commenting on like last week's
3 weeks ago.
Oh, I got a notification from Panda Express, not a sponsor. Why? Yeah. What are we over?
Oh yeah, we're well over.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory wasn't the movie. But isn't that funny though? It's kind of like
it was funny.
Yeah, I thought
people
it was funny.
being murdered, but then you find out they're not dead.
But he said like one of them went down a drain.
Right, exactly.
And another was taken away by hot air balloons.
The glass elevator, I guess, would be that.
Yeah. Really? All right, so that's everything. We didn't even get to talk about Andor. You can listen to my podcast with Sarah Garibaldi called Forced. Available on all streaming platforms, part of Lotus Pod, a sponsor.